I just want to emphasize at the outstart that I am not a politician. So I am not here this afternoon as a Republican, nor a Democrat, not a Mason, nor an Oak, not a Protestant, nor a Catholic, not a Christian, nor a Jew, not as a Baptist, nor a Methodist. In fact, not even as an American. Because if I was an American, the problem that confronts our people wouldn't exist today. So I had to stand here today. I have to stand here today as what I was when I was born, a black man. Before there was any such thing as Republican or Democrat, we were black. Before there was any such thing as a Mason or an Elk, we were black. Before there was any such thing as a Jew or a Christian, we were black people. In fact, before there was any such place as America, we were black. And after America has long passed from the scene, there will still be black people. Now, I'm going to tell you, and I'm going to tell you like it really is. Every election year, these politicians are sent up here to pacify us. They're sent up here and set up here by the white man. This is what they do. They send drugs to black communities to pacify us. They send alcohol down here to pacify us. They send prostitution down here to pacify us. Why you can't get drugs anywhere in America without the white man's permission. You can't get prostitution in America without the white man's permission. You can't get gambling in America without the white man's permission. Every time you break the seal on that liquor bottle, that's a government seal that you're breaking. Oh, I say it and I say it again. You've been had. You've been took. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, led astray, run amok. As this is what he does. 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 As we get ready to wrestle with racism, I want to say quickly after watching the Democratic DNC that I am not voting for Kamala Harris. Now, this isn't an endorsement for Donald Trump because Donald Trump or no white will receive my vote as well. I will be voting because I have the right to vote. But Kamala Harris and Donald Trump, they have made it adamantly clear that they do not have any policies specifically for foundational black Americans who built this country, fought, bled, and died to maintain this country. And we were enslaved people for 400 years, 310 years, if you want to be exact. Not to mention the hell that white folk have put on us once we were freed. Were we really freed? I'm not going to discuss that right now. Do you feel free? But there was not even a mention of black Americans. And it appears that everything that she's promising is going to go to these migrants. You know, I've noticed that she spent a lot of time talking about rebuilding the middle class, helping the middle class. And yes, the middle class does need help. And the middle class, you know, is struggling in America right now. That is true. However, she didn't mention anything about the lower class. She didn't mention anything about the poor class. Are they going to completely dismiss the poor class? I don't think so. I don't think that they will completely dismiss poor whites. As a matter of fact, I believe they're going to find some benefit in Kamala Harris' administration. But as far as poor foundational Black Americans, no. They got these migrants to take care of. They got the wherever these people are coming from, they are going to get first dibs. That's what the Democrats specifically have shown me over the last 4 years. And she told us specifically that she wasn't going to do anything for Black people. Specifically, she said that whatever she recognized that there is a big disparity in America between Black Americans and whites. But anything that she does to benefit Black people specifically benefits America. That's what she said. And so when it comes down to doing something specific for Black people, no, she got ghetto. She said, no. Now she did her head, no, with a little chuckle too. So you, as an Indian woman and as a Jamaican woman, who may be put in a position of power, still would not allow foundational Black Americans to contribute to this country. I'm sorry, Democrats. Y'all got a bad candidate for me. I don't want her. So I'm not voting for her. But in a sense, we must come to a realization that our vote don't count anyway. It doesn't count. And it's getting to the point now to where after this election, I don't even think that they would have to pander to us anymore. It's more Hispanics in America than foundational Black Americans at this point. So, maybe they might look out for their best interest as we become non existent. We have always been struck under the choice between Republican or Democrat. And both parties throughout the last couple of hundreds of years have shown that they have no interest in foundational Black Americans specifically to move forward as American citizens. What I feel that we should do, off the suggestion of Dr. Claude Anderson, is to develop Black Americans to develop our own party, develop our own candidates locally, within your city, within your state, and nationwide. Therefore, at this point, when we aren't in the choices of Republican or no, Republican or Democrat, excuse me. Um, I'm sorry, he threw me off right quick. My son came through, he threw me off real quick. We are always caught in the midst of Republicans or Democrats, and we may have our very specific small thing that we may need out of there, especially our homosexuals. Um, you know, um, so we're caught in between their thing, but this would give us an opportunity to see America's true colors when we don't participate in their politics, when they don't have to look to us anymore for anything. This is going to show their true colors, and their true colors is going to be white. Now, I don't know if they're going to cause some type of destruction, mass destruction, which is what they're historically known for. And perhaps that's what Black Americans could be concerned about. But we need to draw ourselves out of this political system of Republican and Democrat. That's what I got to say on that end. We'll get to the wrestling aspect of it. Welcome to Rassling with Racism, where we wrestle with racism every single day of our lives. Now, I'm not going to be up here long. Tomorrow is my family reunion, and I got some barbecuing to do. It's going to be a good night. Got a couple of my cousins coming through, a couple of people coming through, and we're going to have a good night as people file in from out of town. But I do got a couple of minutes to spare because it is some things that need to be discussed. Now, over the last few months, the WWE pay-per-views has been um, brought down to about, they want to make it to where it's about 5 matches on each PLE with a large roster. That wasn't a good thing to do because it leaves a lot of people out. But most notably, who is left out of all of this is foundational Black Americans, as there was not a single foundational Black American who wrestled on WWE SummerSlam, which is WWE's second or third big pay-per-view, PLE, whatever, of the year. And, sorry, I'm trying to pull this up. And there was not a single one that wrestled. Now, it was a surge of people that noticed that and started looking at Triple H over the last 2 years like, well, foundational Black Americans haven't been as successful since Triple H took reins creatively. I mean, you look at the Street Profits, they're at the end of their rope as a tag team. I mean, you getting to the point where you literally just got them floundering all over the place. Now, SmackDown is due to premiere in about 30 minutes, and tonight they receive a tag team title match against the Samoans. The thing about that is the Samoans just got the tag team titles, and apparently they're not going to do anything with the Street Profits. So therefore, more than likely, the Street Profits are going to lose. Now, is this going to cause them to break up? I don't know. Now you got two singles, Black Americans on the card, and I'm concerned about Angelo Dawkins' future as a result. And I like Angelo Dawkins. To me, he's very underrated. He doesn't get the credit. But this man has stepped this game up tremendously over the past 2 or 3 years. But everybody want to go toward Montez, and ain't nothing wrong with that. But you cannot go toward Montez and completely dismiss Angelo Dawkins. And that's one of the issues that I have with professional wrestling now. Like I said, it's a give or take thing. In order for us to build Javon Evans, we have to bring Trick Williams down. You understand what I'm saying? So it continues. But we in a bad state, man. Hold on, let me try to pull up what I see. Now, the card is not complete because they have 4 matches announced. Hold on 1 second. Oh, Bash in Berlin. I don't know why I keep saying Bash at the beach. Bash in Berlin. You gotta excuse me. 1 second. Oh, huh. The card isn't up there. Where did I see it? Shit, I hate this. There we go. So this is what they got set in stone already. And Drew McIntyre and CM Punk been hurt, but they've been able to keep them going in an interesting storyline for the last 8 months. What, 7, 8 months now? But they are wrestling again in the strap match. And then you got Randy Orton, old ass Randy Orton. While white folks sitting up here calling Bobby Lashley old, Randy Orton is old on damn self, and they don't have an issue with Randy Orton receiving a world championship match against Gunther. Then you got a mixed tag team match with the Mexican Dominic Mysterio and the white Liv Morgan, and then the Mexican Damian Priest and the white Rhea Ripley in a fucking intergender tag team match. And then you have Cody Rhodes, a white, wrestling KO, another white, in the main event for the WWE Championship. Another foundational black American not receiving a WWE Championship match. So it leaves room for one more match to be presented on the program. And I don't know if they're going to go the direction of the men or the women. If they go the direction of featuring a black American at all. Now, if you go to women's side, Bianca is always on WWE PLE, with the exception of Money in the Bank and SummerSlam. So if she missed this will be the third PLE in a row that Bianca Belair will not be wrestling on. Same with Jade Cargill, who is a Jamaican. And if they go the route of the men, in which they're probably not, because the match is happening tonight. I thought that they would have at least waited for the pay-per-view. But the tag team title match is happening tonight. So I don't think that Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins is going to be at the pay-per-view wrestling. So is this going to become a trend? You know, they knocked these pay-per-views down to 5. And it shows you exactly where foundational black Americans stand in the promotion. We're not there. They may take that 5th spot up for Carmelo Hayes, and then he will be the only foundational black American wrestling on the program. A foundational black American male. So, is this the future of the WWE? And are we going to allow the pandering of Triple H taking pictures with Kevin Durant and Lil Baby and fucking, I think Stephen A. Smith, and lumping black people together like Odyssey Jones, throw him in with the New Day just to say, hey, we finally debuted the nigger, and fucking put Carmelo Hayes with Naomi and goddamn Jade Cargill and Bianca Belair, and hey, we got them featuring. Hey, they're on Family Feud with each other. With your favorite nigger, Steve Harvey. All of that pandering could go out the window. That's just like these white politicians that's trying to pander to us. No, we're not bound for that. We want to see tangibles for foundational black American wrestlers on in the ring and behind the scenes. You know, I was talking about how you could spot how genuine Triple H is when it came down to pandering. And here we are. It didn't even take a month. The very next PLE, not a single foundational black American wrestling on the program. And white folk want to sit, and handkerchief head pecker Tom Nearest want to sit up here and tell me that it isn't racism. Well, what is it? Why aren't these foundational black Americans being featured on the program? We're getting to the point to where Triple H is either going to have to admit that he is indeed a racist, white, anti-black, white supremacist, and let us go, as to where I can have much more respect for him because I know exactly where we stand. Or are you going to continue to pander to us and have these foundational black Americans sitting on the sidelines and not collecting these PLE bonus checks, not collecting these SummerSlam and Royal Rumble and WrestleMania and Survivor Series bonus checks? Not to go internationally across the world and collect these bonus checks. Just so we could just sit on the sidelines so that you can say that you have us. Triple H gotta go. Triple H gotta go. Triple H gotta go. I had said something. Oh, another thing. I want to go over the AEW real quick. AEW All In is coming out this Sunday. And last year there was only one foundational Black American that wrestled on the entire program, and that was Swerve Strickland, who is today your world heavyweight champion in AEW. And I put world in quotes. This year, here's progression. There are a grand total of two foundational Black Americans wrestling on the program. And I'll take you even a step further. One of them isn't even a wrestler, as it is Stokely Hathaway. But you do have Swerve Strickland, who just so happened to be your world champion in the main event. I don't know. I can't say that they're going to put him in the main event yet. But he's in a high profile match as he's getting ready to face Bryan Danielson, who's apparently going to retire. I don't think so. You don't retire in professional wrestling. So there's still a problem. Because Swerve Strickland winning the AEW championship did not elevate foundational Black Americans overall within the company. We're still not being featured on these pay-per-views. We're still not being featured on these dynamites. What's going on? We're still not being featured on these PLEs, these pay-per-views in AEW. We're still not being featured on Dynamite. And when we are being featured on Collision or Rampage, whenever we are, we're losing. So the problem is still not solved. Now, at first, a lot of people were attacking AEW because of their racism. And since the attention shifted to the WWE, white folk sit up here and still say that AEW isn't a racist organization. When in actuality, it is. We don't deal in tokenism. That's tokenism. What good is it? How would white folk feel if there were one white champion in any promotion? And whatever little whites they sprinkle on whatever little random show, they lose. That shit hurts after a lifetime. It hurts after a lifetime. But one thing that I read today was apparently Swerve Strickland is going through a renegotiation process, which is what I have been advocating over the last couple of months, if you've been paying attention. Is Swerve Strickland being paid like a world champion? You got Will Ospreay, who came in here and proved absolutely nothing in America, receiving millions of dollars. You got Mercedes Monet, who is half white, coming out the blue, receiving millions of dollars. The bitch haven't been done anything, and she been hurt or sitting on her ass, making millions of dollars. You got Bryan Danielson making millions of dollars. You got Chris Jericho making millions of dollars. You got Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, all these white folk making millions of dollars. MJF making millions of dollars. Hangman Adam Page making millions of dollars. But foundational black Americans can't cross the threshold. And I said, hey, if Swerve Strickland were a world champion, then he would be paid like a world champion. Hold on one second. I'm sorry, I keep being disturbed. Like I said, this was low key bad time, and I had been planned on doing this on this day, but I didn't plan on everybody coming over my house for me to barbecue. Yeah. But like I said, I got family and friends and stuff following from out of town, so it's okay. Um, the so like I said, if you pay the man like a world champion, but you don't even present the man like a world champion. Foundational Black Americans that watch AEW, I tune in to see Black Americans specifically. Therefore, I'm probably watching one segment a week with Swerve Strickland or something. Shane Taylor may pop up or something. I don't know. I ain't seen Shane Taylor in a while. Where the hell have he been? But anyway, um, and they haven't presented him like a world champion. He don't look like a leader. Um, it's not Swerve. It's how he's being presented, and he's purposely being presented to be made to look like a paper champion. And then AEW made it even worse when they had Will Ospreay come out and say to the world, "Oh, I lost to Swerve Strickland because I people gave him so much hell, saying it was a token win, this, that, and other. So I put him over just to prove people wrong." Why would you say that? Why would you say that? One, you ruining the business. I mean, wrestling's already fake as fuck. And then you just put the damper down with that by making the black man like you giving a black man charity, and they are. And it's crazy too because this was a token run. I believe that Tony Khan is trying to get a TV deal. And with all the racial things, the racial accusations against him, he figured putting a title on a black American man would help him with this WBD deal. WBD doesn't want AEW, it seems like. AEW is a dying company, and for the fact that Tony Khan this is his only option. Like, you want a dying company to invest in you. What happens if they go out of business in a year or two? You on your ass. And obviously AEW isn't hot, or else they would have gotten other offers. Obviously they haven't. So if you do, we're going to tell where black Americans stand off of Swerve Strickland pay. If he is paid these millions of dollars, then maybe it could seem as if Tony Khan have some type of respect. But time, of course, will tell. I'm looking for something really quickly. Oh shit, I went to the wrong spot. Again, Daniel Bryan may retire. Is he going to retire with the world championship or not? Hold on one second. I'm almost finished. Okay. So, earlier this week, Dreammaker said Bryan Danielson reveals his family will be present at All in Wembley Stadium, and that his daughter Birdie wants him to lose so that he can just be at home and just be a dad. My wife will be there, and my kids will be there, and we will be there when it'll be the first time my son ever seen me wrestle live. My son wants me to win, but also wants me to get beat up a little bit. My daughter doesn't want to see me get beat up, but she wants me to lose so I can come home and be a dad. I said, yeah, that's cute how he just put that, because that shit, obviously that they didn't say that, but whatever. So all I said, I'm going to give you my reason. All I said was Bryan Danielson is a Chris Benoit tragedy in the making, and I'm calling it. I'm calling it right now, and he is. This man has been thrown all over his head every which way. CTE is a real thing, and if there's one person in professional wrestling that has CTE, it's Bryan Danielson.